All right, we'll give maybe another 30 seconds or so for people to join. We hope that all the mentors liked that song because we realized that probably the students have no idea who REM is, but that's a great song. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. All right, well, okay, a couple more people joining. I think we'll go ahead and get started because we don't have much time together tonight. But welcome back. It's so nice to see so many faces and people in the Zoom right now. And it feels great to be meeting together as a large group after the summer. Well, I know that we were all hoping that things might be a little different this fall and we'd be together in the cafeteria having dinner. I think, you know, it's all going to be okay. The good news is that we've really got this Zoom thing down for now, I think. So we know what we're doing. We know how to communicate through a screen, and we all feel confident that we'll be a really productive T2 fall. Before we really jump in for the night, I do want to start. I know all the mentees, for the mentors. Jen Garrity is unfortunately had a injury playing in our faculty basketball on Friday mornings, and she had a pretty bad break of her ankle. So she had to have surgery, and she will be taking a few weeks off because it's her driving foot, unfortunately. So she's recovering. She had her surgery yesterday. Everything went smooth. So we send her our best, and the students made some awesome get well cards for her during our win time together last week. So that was really nice. So we send her our best and we miss her. So for tonight, there's sort of two plans. First, from a big picture perspective, we want everybody to leave this meeting feeling like you have a good grasp on what our T2 fall is going to look like. And secondly, from more of an individual perspective, we want to make sure that we give you plenty of time at the end of the meeting, so hopefully the second half of this meeting, to reconnect with one another. So we plan breakout rooms going, and we have a couple of things we want you to do in those breakout rooms. So before we jump in, I do have a quick video that I want to show you all. I asked one of our amazing T2 alum, Pierre Allen Belcher, who's from the class of 2020, who some of the repeat mentors might remember. I asked him to come and speak with the group and give a little welcome this evening. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it. I believe he had a work commitment. But he is the sweetest, and he generously offered to record a video for me to share to say hello to you all. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the video.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the opening meeting of Transitioning Together. My name is Pierre Allen Belcher. I'm a recent graduate from Flemington North High School, class of 2020, represent. So, a quick background about me. I recently came to the US like 3 years ago. I barely knew how to speak English. I definitely knew less about the college process, but the Transitioning Together program was key towards me applying to college and getting to where I'm at today. So like I'm currently a second year student at Mass Bay Community College, and I'm planning on transferring after this year to a four-year college. I'm not sure where yet, but we'll see where life takes me. And I'm also currently working at the Apple Store in Natick, so that's definitely nice. It's like the coolest job you could get as a college student, so I'm definitely thankful for that. And then some advice that I have for you guys is definitely communicate it to your mentors, because they're taking time out of the day to help you with the college process. Definitely honor that and make the task as easy as possible is for them. Also get to know them personally, because you never know, they might be part of your life after you apply to college. And after that, like if you have any questions about my experience, like applying to college, or even while I'm in college, you can definitely ask Ms. Sannenberger or Ms. Garrity for my contact information, and I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you guys. So Yeah, let's say good luck.
All right, and thanks again for sharing that video. Hopefully you all found it inspirational, and for the students, that'll be you. Maybe one of you will be giving our welcome next fall. So we're in 2 falls from now. So thanks again to him for that. Before I jump in and cover my part with going over the T2 programming for the fall, I do want to invite Miss Hannenberger up, and she's going to re-review the T2 contract with you all. We want to make sure that all of the students are recommitted to the program for this fall, because it really is going to be critical in order to making sure that you all have success and that the program runs smoothly. So Ms. Hannenberger, do you want to come on up, and I'll pull up come on up.
Well, thank you, Ms. Hall. Welcome, everyone. It is so great to see you all. Very briefly, I just want to remind all the mentees of the contract that they signed last January. And thank you, Ms. Hall, for sharing the screen. And this is really just to be mindful of your mentors and the time and energy that they are dedicating to you. And we want to make sure that we are respectful of that. And the most important thing is the correspondence. So when your mentor reaches out to you via text or email, we just want to make sure that you get back to them within 24 hours. If you're really busy, just say, I can't meet right now, or I will get back to you. I have, a test tomorrow, and I'll text you back after that. Just, it might take some time, but just a quick response to let them know that you are on it and you're going to get back to them is really, really appreciated. We also have been emailing you, and Ms. Garrity has Remind set up to remind you of our events coming up. And we do just want to make sure that you get back to me in the next couple of weeks, because Ms. G is out. And again, just come to all these events. So it's really, really important. We have a lot going on in the next 3 to 4 months, and you're going to be very, very busy with helping. Your mentors are going to be busy with helping you meet lots of deadlines and submitting applications for college as well as financial aid. So we need everyone to read their emails, and that's including both your NPS email, which is where you're going to get emails from the Newton North staff, your teachers, myself, Ms. G when she gets back, as well as your personal emails. So your mentors are sending everything to your personal emails as well as the colleges. We want to make sure that you're checking both of these accounts and responding to the emails accordingly. So it's an exciting time, and we are all here to help you plan your next steps after North. I'm going to turn back over to Ms. Hall, who's going to tell you about our fall programming and all of our events coming up. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ms. Hannenberger. Can everybody see the calendar of events here on the screen? Yes. Okay, excellent. So we're going to quickly go over this together so you all know what's sort of coming up over the next few months. So first, let's talk about tonight. After our meeting tonight, you will all head to the Senior Family Night webinar, and we'll be sure to share the link again with you all in the chat before we end the Zoom later on. We are going to end this meeting at about 6:20 to give people a 10-minute break before that begins. During Senior Family Night, you'll hear from a handful of different speakers, including Principal Turner, Dean Michelle Staus, the Center for Civic Engagement, and others. You'll also hear from the counseling department with lots of important messages about the college process. Please make sure to be sort of like a sponge tonight, just taking it all in and writing down any questions that you might have for any of us, because we're happy to answer any questions you have after the meeting. All right, so that takes care of tonight, and then sort of shifting gears into October. So once we hit October, we do have a few focuses. So first, on October 5th, we're asking all students and mentors to watch the live Mifa college financing webinar. It's 1 hour long, and it's a very helpful introduction to the financial aid process. After watching this webinar, we're asking you all to meet together for 30 minutes to discuss what you've learned and address any questions that you might have. We'll talk in a few minutes. We're gonna have a financial aid focus night in November. So don't worry if, all of that is just an introduction to you. If it feels overwhelming, we're going to cover a lot of this again in November. I think the biggest thing is watching the webinar, getting the exposure to financial aid, and then having time for mentors and mentees to talk about it and sort of absorb the information. I also do want to point out that there are some students who might be applying with early deadlines. So if you're applying early decision, you might also have a very early financial aid deadline. So if that is you, if you're in that situation, please also check out a couple of the other handouts that we included in the email for this meeting. One of them is getting help with financial aid, which is a document that was included, and also information about how to create your FSA ID. So again, if you're applying with early financial aid deadlines, we have resources for you. Seek us out. If you don't have early financial aid deadlines, you can kind of just ignore what I was just saying. Okay, we're going to give you lots of support with financial aid along the way. All right, so shifting next, on Thursday, October 7th, we do have an early release day. And so we are hoping that you plan to attend a local campus visit during that afternoon. And we do know that many of you have not had a ton of opportunity to do formal campus visits. So we think using this day for this purpose would be really, really helpful. We have shared a document with you all that includes dozens of local visit opportunities. So if you need suggestions, please look at that document. And please know that on that document, you do have to register for those campus visit opportunities. So if you do plan to do the visits on October 7th, please make sure that you register ahead of time. And we will share that document again with you during your breakout rooms. All right, and then our last thing for October is that on October 19th, we're going to have a large group meeting that will be focused just on the Common Application. This is really great timing for this meeting, because for anyone applying with early deadlines in November, it'll be a great time for you to go through and make sure you've completed everything correctly. And for those of you with later deadlines, it's a great introduction to the Common App and a chance to get some stuff done. So October, as you can see, is very busy, very, very busy with your intro to financial aid, a campus visit, and Common App. So we know it's a lot, but we'll keep the communication going, and we hope you feel supported along the way. All right, so then we shift to November. And as you'll see, once again, on November 2nd, there's an early release day. And again, we encourage you to look at those campus visit opportunities and get on a campus tour then as well. Then later in November, November 16th, is that financial aid follow-up meeting. We are going to have a financial aid professional in here. She comes every year. Her name's Lori Such. So for mentors, you might have met with her before, or you've definitely seen her presentations. She is amazing. She will answer all of the individual questions you have about financial aid. She is also willing to do individual one-on-one appointments with students over Zoom. So again, the financial aid support will be there, especially in the month of November. All right, and then we head into December, which feels like a million years away, but we all know we'll blink and it'll be here. The December meeting is really just an open workshop for completing admissions and financial aid applications, with really the opportunity to get help, obviously students from your mentors, but also from us, from financial aid professionals, whatever you need. So we'll sort of see how everybody's doing, but potentially have, some breakout room situations there. All right, that was a lot of information. Does anybody have any questions about the programming through the end of this year? If you could use the raise hand function, that would be great. I don't see any hands. Miss Hannenberger, do you see any hands? I don't think I do.
I do not.
I see one hand.
Oh, yeah.
Diana, do you want to unmute yourself? Thank you.
Yeah, I just did. I put in the chat. I'm not sure if you're able to see the chat, but my question is for the October 19th, which is the Common App meeting, do you recommend or expect the students to have started and or completed the Common App before we meet on that day?
That's a good question. I think that's going to be very individual. I think if the student has November deadlines, so November 1st and November 15th, I would assume that the student would have started the Common App. I think at the very least, I would like for students to have an account set up because we'll be doing some work in the system. So if you have January deadlines, as long as you have an account set up, that's all we really need from you. Good question. Any other questions that people might have? I can look at the chat. Okay, and we had somebody ask in the chat, can I repeat where the financial aid info is if you're applying early decision? So in the email that we had sent for this meeting, so it was the September email from Ms. Hannenberger. We did have a couple of links to handouts. And so one of them is where to get help with financial aid. And the other one is how to create your FSA ID, which is how you sign your FAFSA. So those are two attachments on the email that you received in September from Ms. Hannenberger. We also, in the breakout rooms, I'd be happy to reshare the links to those documents with you as well. Any other questions in the chat or hand raise? Okay, so I think we'll go ahead and head to breakout rooms. So here's your task for your breakout rooms. The first thing is to look at the college visit options. And again, we'll share that with you. Figure out when, if and when you're going to visit some college campuses on the half days. Secondly, I want you to make a plan for that October 5th financial aid webinar that we're having you watch. Make a plan of are you going to watch it together? Are you going to share your screen and watch it over Zoom and then Zoom? Are you going to call each other on the phone afterwards? Make a plan for October 5th. And then I think that was it. Those are your responsibilities, and to catch up with each other. I know some people were connecting over the summer and others were not. So hopefully this is a nice opportunity for you all to speak with each other. We are going to end the meeting at 6:20. So you'll get cut off at 6:20, unfortunately, because Ms. Hannenberger and I have to present at the next meeting. So we will end the meeting then. So you do have a 10-minute break. And again, we'll share the Zoom link to the senior family night before we wrap up. Okay, if you are on the wait list, if you are a waitlisted student, you obviously will not go into a breakout room. And so you'll hang here and we'll speak with you separately. All right, so I think we're ready, Ms. Hannenberger, to do some.
Okay. Everyone has been assigned. I'm going to open all the rooms and you'll go directly to the room, and we'll be broadcasting some information to you in those rooms. So be sure to click on those links as they come in.
Thank you all very much. Enjoy your breakout rooms. Fingers crossed always that